All right. We'll get into it here, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Last I Heard podcast. My name, Lee Dempsey, joined here with the full Gridiron Gang once again. Josh Winch, Travis Rankins. We are back to wrap up week 6, get into week 7, give our thoughts on some game recaps from week 6, talk about some news, give our power rankings, and a little update on the pickems. Give us a little update on the standings there, and go over just a few other things, a few other highlights that we like of the weekend, and our picks into week 7. We'll make those as well. Boys, getting into it. We talked a little briefly about before we got started injuries, kind of happening between last week and the week before that. Even more and more injuries. Let's see here. We got Fields went out in the game against the Vikings. He's expected to miss, I think, at least a game. I'm not sure exactly if there's an official word out there of how long it'll be. Anthony Richardson heading to IR, right? He's going to be out for, I don't know, at least 4 weeks, right? Or is the whole season? Okay. Yeah, so Gardner Minshew is going to be taking over. Minshew Mania is not the answer, I don't think, in Indy, unfortunately, which is a big shame. Those guys had a promising season with Anthony Richardson, but seems with the injuries and coming out of almost every single game, it seemed like this was almost inevitable. And then also, Miko Hardman traded back to the Chiefs today for a late pick. A guy just can't get away from them Chiefs. And I also thought it was interesting because I was expecting the Chiefs to make moves kind of at the trade deadline coming up in 2 weeks here. I thought they were going to trade for a wide receiver. Didn't think it'd be Miko, but what do you do? What do you guys got? You guys got any additional news you want to break here?
Yeah, yesterday the Packers signed Mr. James Robinson. He was a free agent, so that tells me one of two things: is we need a running back, obviously, and number two, Aaron Jones is probably not healthy, so it's great. Love it.
I think there's a lot of injury bugs that coming out of week 6, with like Jimmy G going to the hospital, CMC getting evaluated for his oblique, Debo leaving the game, Trevor Lawrence leaving the game late. There's a lot of bigger names that kind of
Well,
got dinged up late. Yep, got dinged up late in games this Sunday, both for obviously teams, but also fantasy impacts. A lot happening this week from that perspective, to see who will bounce back. I'm excited for Minshew, honestly, to get a crack in Indy. I do like the guy. He's fun to watch. I don't expect him to win a ton of games. I didn't expect him to win a ton with Richardson, honestly. But JT's kind of eased back into it now. Be interesting to see how that transitions the rest of the season. With Zach Moss playing really well before he came back. That will be an interesting one. Justin Fields, with the whole Bears having potentially the 1-2 pick, how long do they hold him out?
Yeah.
Is that a strategy they play to increase trade value? There's some things there I could see happening, similar to JJ we talked about last week with the Vikings. The play of how long or how quick do you rush him back, given that you're not going to do a lot this year. So those are some of my headlines heading out of the week in terms of injuries and implications for teams.
Yeah, I think with the Fields injury, it was really a shame that the Vikings won that game. To be honest with you, I didn't really want them to win that game. Now for them to even have a single chance of getting Caleb Williams, Carolina's got to win 3 games, and these other teams, the 6 other teams ahead of them now have draft priority over them, and each and every single one of them needs a quarterback. So I'd say chances of Vikings even getting a decent quarterback, I would say, seem to be pretty slim unless they make some trades here. Let's see. We got Panthers have number 1, which is going to Chicago. Chicago's got 2, Denver 3, Arizona 4, Giants 5, New England 6, and Minnesota 7. Every one of these guys could use a quarterback. So, Chances the Giants do, I guess, probably pretty slim since they just extended Daniel Jones. So curious what that is, but yeah, things aren't looking great for Minnesota. I love it. It's gonna be mediocre for a while, I think. Anywho, teams on a bye for week 7. We got the Bengals, Cowboys, Jets, Panthers, Texans, and Titans for week 7. So this is seemed like it really did. You could feel it looking at the pickems how much it was cut back. We finished up the London games this last week, so those are done. I think we get a couple weeks off, and then we get the Germany games in a couple weeks. Yeah. Some highlighted games that we want to go over. I figured I'd talk a little bit about Minnesota and Chicago. Once again, turnover city on both sides. Terrible game, honestly. Tough to watch. Such a low scoring game. No one wants to hold the ball. Just bad play all around. Defenses looked like they really shined that game, but it was really just, poor offenses that made that work. Fields getting hurt. Was it Tyson Bagent? Is that even how you pronounce his name? I felt like I heard it 3 different ways that game. Came in. I didn't think he played the absolute worst, but didn't play well. And then, just a defensive touchdown for the Vikings really put them ahead. And by old Hicks, I think he got NFC Defensive Player of the Week, which is surprising. I never really thought much of him when we got him last year. So it's fine. It's one time to shine. But that's my highlight for that game. There's nothing really to talk about. What a loser of a game that was to watch. And pretty sad.
Lee, were you cheering for him to win?
No, I wasn't. I was cheering for them to lose for sure.
I was thinking of you when they scored that defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Like they can't score an offense, so this is how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and it's sad that I don't care if they win. Like this is the first year in a while, which I knew this kind of from the beginning, which I just don't. I gave up on the season. Like I'm just accepting what was going to happen. Knew the Lions were going to win. Thought the Vikings or the Packers would fight. Thought the Bears would be just a tiny bit better than what they are. So I kind of expected the Vikings to be towards the bottom. I didn't think we'd be in the chase for Caleb Williams, but I want to be. I want to be now. That's what I want. I seriously just want a franchise quarterback that they can draft and like it's something to look forward to. Like I can expect this person to grow rather than like Kirk Cousins, who we kind of knew the ceiling of him even before he went to Minnesota. Like maybe a change of scenery would help. We'll see. And that's why I call it the Kirk Cousins experiment, because we gave it a shot. Didn't work out. I'm ready to move on. Like I'm ready to move on 4 weeks ago. Like I'm done. So yeah, it kind of sucks to look at a football season that way right off the bat, but they're still good teams, good fun teams. It's even worse when Jefferson's out and you can't even see that kid do well. It's tough.
What do you, Travis? This is for you too. What do you guys think 6 weeks in? What's the ideal outcome for the season for your teams at this point?
Travis, you probably got the only positive. That's
Like,
what would you like to see? What would a successful season look like?
I'd like to see some competence. Like, okay, if we lose but we play well, that's fine. But when we lose and we play like we're watching middle school football, this is not acceptable to me. No, this is embarrassing. I am so sick of watching Matt LaFleur do the same shit over and over and then come into the podium, and I'm sick of talking about this every fucking week that I say this goddamn same thing. But I'm just over it. Like, I just want something different. I don't know, man. If you can't beat Denver this weekend, it's real bad. But overall, I have a bet on the Packers to win more than 7 games. So I want them to win 8 games. But realistically, I just want to see confidence in the coaching staff. I want to see them give out a better game plan, and I want to see Love have more tools or players to work with Like, hopefully Aaron Jones will be back at some point. Christian Watson will finally start making some plays. I just want to see some growth. And I'm feeling like we're getting worse. And that's why it's just so demoralizing. And I get, Lee, that you wanna get the number one pick in that, but I just can't. I'm not used to losing like this, like for football. And
Yeah.
I can't just sit here and go, yeah, it'd be cool to get a great pick. I just want to win.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But Green Bay right now, as they are, a pretty middle tier team, at least,
Yeah.
So they're not a bottom tier team where
Well,
the
they're the
draft pick
worst
is
you
the
can
only
be. They're
thing you can look
middle.
for.
They're like going to be
Exactly. They're what
like the 12th pick.
Exactly. That's where like the Vikings have been forever. And I've never looked forward to a draft pick ever. Never once. Like we had 3 back in the fuck was it? The year we got Cordero Patterson, Xavier Rhodes, and what's his face. We had 3 in one year. Basically 2 of those were bust because of injuries. We didn't know how to play Patterson other than a kick returner. And then Xavier Rhodes was solid. So it was like that was a pretty rough year to have 3 first round draft picks, results wise. But now that we're like towards the top and just like the writings on the wall, we're getting multiple injuries where people are out for long periods of time. Kirk Cousins is done, most likely done in Minnesota. Can't officially say that because apparently they wanted him back. So it's just you're just along for the ride. And the best thing that's going to happen for the Vikings is like I looked at their schedule. Maybe they get 9 wins. Maybe like they're after San Francisco, they've definitely gone through their hardest part of the season. Because especially with the North being iffy as it is, it's like, oh, they will probably beat the Bears twice, the Packers maybe once, and the Lions they'll probably lose twice. So it's like I think for sure they got 4 more losses on the rest of the year. But I think there's a chance that they could win some other games. So it's like 9 wins, like that's probably not a wild card spot. You probably need 10, to make it really happen. So at that point, I'm like, I don't know. Just this is the only thing I got to look forward to the entire season. Like Jefferson's not gonna have a great season because he's been out. Like just writing's on the wall. So that's it. I can't even root for individual achievements. Kirk Cousins could win the MVP, and if he's not on, like it doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit. He could have seriously a phenomenal year, and I still don't give a crap. I've never been like the biggest Kirk fan, but end of the day, he's still the quarterback to the Vikings, so I got to deal with it. But I'm ready to move on. Yep.
There was a
feel like
report also with him that he's not going to get traded either.
Right. I did see that. Yeah. Chances are they don't have interest
Does
in
he have a
trading
no
him.
trade clause?
Correct. Yeah. He also
Yep.
doesn't
Right.
have a no trade.
He's not going anywhere then.
Right. It's like there's no point to be there. Yeah.
Well, I heard he loves Minnesota, the city, and his family and stuff like that. So it's like that on top of everything else. Like he doesn't want to go somewhere for 1 year, honestly.
Right. That's what really sucks though, because the Vikings then I feel like don't control their own destiny kind of thing. I mean, unless you draft his backup this year and truly have faith in, what that player could be, have him sit until Cousins is done in 3 years or whatever the hell it's gonna be. That sucks though. Having the talent sit on the bench like that, like it's probably somewhat to the point of what Travis was feeling the last couple of years with Love on the bench. It's like we got this guy. Aaron's not doing what we are hoping Aaron's going to do. He's not getting us over that hump. It's like I definitely am just over that feeling. And as much as Kirk likes Minnesota, and I think he's respected here. I'm over it, man. I want to see change, and I want to see the Vikings be able to pick the player they want to pick, not just the year after Kirk Cousins retires, we're gonna just pick up the quarterback that falls to us, kind of thing. Because who's that gonna be? I don't know.
I could see I've seen a lot of drafts have them taking JJ McCarthy from Michigan. It's kind of the Quinn Ewers, JJ McCarthy are the after. You got Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix has shot up.
That's what I
Those
heard.
guys have all kind of separated themselves a little bit, at least early. It's early, very early, obviously in the season and draft process. But I mean, this is the most loaded quarterback class I've ever seen for college football. I mean, especially if they all come out, it would be
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think yeah, I'm just worried we're gonna get like the Josh Rosen out of the fucking draft. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
there's gonna be a
If they
stinker in
do,
there for sure.
if they
Yeah.
do resign Kirk, that is probably good for whoever they would. Let's say they're mid pick, like 7 to 12. You probably want them to sit a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if I was a fan, I would want them to sit at least 1 year
Yeah, I
to,
do like yeah.
to develop a little bit. I'm never a huge fan of throwing them in there unless
Yeah.
you have a pretty good roster.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Also, Caleb Williams asking for a stake in the franchise wherever he gets drafted.
What a joke.
That's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers couldn't get that done. That got shot down for him. So, yeah.
This guy, I used to like this guy. He's kind of driving me nuts lately.
You think he's just trying to bring down his own draft stock so he doesn't get drafted by the Bears? I'm like, that's what I can. It's like
I don't know. It's
I don't
just
know.
like, and he hasn't played that well this season. I mean,
Lost
he's had a lot.
game too. They got whooped.
I mean, he's had a lot of turnovers and some not so great. I mean, what people love about him is that he extends plays and runs around like Patrick Mahomes and make these magical plays.
Right.
But the problem is he does that too often.
Yeah.
It's like, can you just fucking stand in the pocket and throw the ball?
Exactly.
Ever?
Yeah, he's more of
It's
the
like,
Russell Wilson type, where it's just scramble first, pass second.
like slow the fuck down and throw the ball.
Yeah, that's one thing I would worry about. Like I was even thinking, the Vikings get the third pick. I'm like Drake May. Then that's awesome. Like I just want to be excited for a quarterback.
Yep.
I want to be excited for the future. That's what I want.
May and Penix. I like Penix the most, honestly, right now. He reminds me of a better version of Tua.
Oh yeah.
If you get him in the right offense like that, get the ball out quick and accuracy, like that is what he does. So I'm like, it just depends, like some people like the Josh Allen approach of run around, throw the ball 80 yards down the field. That's not who he is. But if you run in like a Shanahan offense, that could be a great fit. So it'll be a fun draft. I'm excited for that one. But
yeah, I think it's be intense.
This past weekend was probably some of the biggest upsets we've seen in a long time for games, with obviously both undefeated teams getting knocked off. The Browns, that game was shocking to me.
Yeah.
PJ
Walker leading the Browns over the 49ers was
backup quarterback, and you beat the best team in the NFL. I mean, obviously CMC and Debo went out, but still, 49ers honestly should have won that game.
Well,
you put yourself in a position. Yeah, I was just going to say, kick the game-winning field goal with the best college kicker from last year, and he misses, I think it was like a 42-yard or something.
Right.
Pretty sad, but great win for the Browns. I saw a stat that they have the, what was it? Pulled it up here. Browns have allowed the fewest total yards by any team through 6 games since 1971.
Jeez.
Well, speaking of that,
which is insane because you think about how the league has gone so offensive. But I mean, that is a fucking impressive stat. Their defense balled out against the 49ers, that's for sure.
So then that means that everybody was all critical of Brock Purdy and, saying that he can't play now because he had one bad game. He finally lost his first NFL game. And Nick Wright's like, yep, see, I told you, he sucks. He sucks. Like, dude, he just lost one game. Like, so what? Anybody that loses one game, they suck. So Patrick Mahomes lost week 1 against the Lions. He sucks. Like, and all his guys went out, like his left tackle, his CMC, Debo. I mean, And they still should have won the game. So, I mean, yeah, he didn't have a good game. He'll be first to tell you that. But I just hate this whole like narrative that Brock Purdy is no good and that the only reason he's any good is because he's on the Niners. Maybe that's true, but guess what? Other people have tried on the Niners, and other people have not played quarterback not even half as well as him.
Right.
So I just don't get the whole like blah blah blah. Just like with Brady, well, he had Belichick, blah blah blah. Now we're seeing no, that was all fucking Brady. I don't give a fuck how uncoordinated, unathletic he looks and is, and blah blah blah. He's the best. It doesn't fucking matter. Not saying that Purdy is Brady. However, I'm just saying he makes right football plays and he does the right things with the football and understands the fucking game of football very well. He's very astute. And guess what? That's what you need at that quarterback position. And then all the other stuff can come second to that. As long as you know what you're doing, you have enough arm strength, you have enough arm talent, you have enough, ability.
Yep. Yeah, I don't buy any of that. I don't even listen to it, to be honest. I think it's just ridiculous. He's proven himself already in his career. He's got weapons galore, and put the team in a position to win the game without those weapons, without the best running back, left tackle, and receiver on his team. I mean, I don't know what you can say. He just played the best defense in the NFL too. It's like
Joe Burrow lost 27-3 against him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get that. I think he's obviously a perfect fit for what they needed in San Fran, and just a great person, a great role model for the NFL. Hopefully, I hope he stays healthy and has a good career, because I think he's a very accurate quarterback, and one that would be a cool story, obviously, as Mr. Irrelevant, to win a championship or 2 or 3 or something in San Fran.
Yep. That'd be documentaries galore after that.
Yep.
Another one. Jets beat the undefeated Eagles.
Damn Jets.
Yep. Another technically backup in Zach Wilson beating an undefeated team. That was wild. Eagles, though, I told you, not being as special as I thought they were going to be this year. That's why I took my power rankings last week, and they're definitely not getting back on there this week. That was, piss poor performance by the Eagles. Can't really say much else other than that.
Do you guys notice also that, like, I know we were talking about defense, and like I just feel like almost every offense is not clicking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
The
this.
Dolphins, besides the Dolphins and the Niners before last week, but like other than that, like the Chiefs aren't doing that well. Like they're struggling. The Eagles struggling. I mean, who else is a high flying team that's really not been? I mean, even like the Jacksonville Jaguars, they haven't really been that good on offense. Bills have been up and down. Like one week they are looking good, and then the next week you're like, eh. I mean, the Detroit Lions, they're looking solid. They're actually like the most solid of the bunch, I feel like, with like just showing consistency.
Yeah.
There's no consistency in this league. And then you got the fucking Los Angeles Chargers, who Charger again the other night, and Justin Herbert. I talked so great about him, but man, he did not look good.
Yeah,
that was not a good game. He missed so many wide open passes. He had that one guy for a touchdown. I think it was what the hell is there? Why can't I think of his number 13? Why can't I think of?
Oh, yeah, it was Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Keenan Allen, that's it. He's wide open.
Keenan 3 times for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then you got Staley doing Staley shit again, where it's like 4th and 2 from like the 10. You're down 3. What are we gonna do? Nah, we're gonna go for it when we're not really doing that great. Okay, and then guess what? You didn't get it, and then right back to the Cowboys. And guess what? You lost by 3 points. Every game, man. Why don't people fucking take points? I'm so sick of this. Let's just go for it. It'd be cool if your offense was awesome and you could just do it and get it all the time, but you don't. Never. I don't get it. I don't get it. These coaches are fucking idiots. I'm
Yeah.
sick of it.
I get when
Yeah,
you
I was-
have
I was
momentum
gonna
on your side, but yeah, when you're already struggling and you go for it on fourth down, that doesn't make any
I mean, when you're
sense.
down
Like
3,
yeah, especially that. But
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. Like this was got to be one of the lowest scoring weeks in a long time. Like
Mhm.
you had scores of 19-13, 13-17, 19-17,
19-8, I think.
13-20, 9-26, 20-6, 9-14.
yeah,
Like those are 20-17. Those are final scores. It's
just
like the, that is
unders
wild.
galore. Is that what it
Yeah,
was
like
Yeah.
this week?
you're right. It's really been a weird year for that. I mean,
Mhm.
the Jets. I heard a stat this morning. The Jets held Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts to 3 passing touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Jesus. Wow.
Just think if they had Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
what
that
they'd
defense
be
is.
doing.
I mean,
Yeah,
the Jets and Browns is all defense. I mean, but you look at that whole that scores I just read off, and it's defense, 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 defense. It's like these. It's weird because the NFL has obviously put in all these penalties. If you can't tackle this way, you can
Mhm.
only hit them this way. You can only hit them here. You can't hit them here. It's just like pretty soon we're going to be playing flag football, but yet the defenses are having the probably one of the best seasons across the league that we've
Right.
seen historically for the Jets, the Browns, 49ers. I mean, you Bills in week 2. I mean, there are some teams that are just putting up insane defensive numbers.
Mhm.
I mean, you had fucking Khalil Mack at 6 sacks in the game. It's just crazy.
Mhm.
But uh I'll be curious the second half of the season if that kind of flips. If
Right.
the Chiefs of the world, who you're just waiting to have a big game, start to break out. The Eagles, start to break out. The Bills, like Travis said, are up and down.
Right.
Can they be consistent and break out? Miami's been the only offense that's been consistent.
Mhm.
It's pretty interesting.
You know, out of the worst week of all this past week as well, the Zebras.
Yeah.
The officiating I saw this weekend was absolutely atrocious. And then I see a personal foul called. I think it was in the London game, where dude throws the ball and he's about to sack him, and he just hits him in the waist and like goes on him, but then rolls off like this. Like I didn't want, but because he landed on him, they threw a
Yeah.
flag, and the Ravens had all of the momentum in this game at that time. This was like I think 10 minutes left, maybe 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and they were up like 18-3. They called that play. They would have got the ball back because it was fourth down, but they called that, so they got the ball back. First play after that, Derrick Henry, 69 yards. Like it changed the complete. I know that the Ravens still won and they did cover, but man, those like that little shit. Like if that wouldn't have covered, that I would have said is rigged. Like just because of little shit like that, they kept throwing flag after flag in that game, and it was just annoying. And then there was another game. I forget which game it was, but there was a defender that coming in on a guy, hits him in the shoulder with his shoulder, but because like he went like this and it looked like maybe his helmet, they called a 15-yarder, and then you look at the replay and you're like, he didn't even touch it with his helmet
Yeah.
at all. I can't remember what game it was, but oh my God, I was just like, how do you play
Mhm.
defense? And now, not only that, I just saw that today there's a rumor going around that the league is trying to take away now a tackle where the hip tackle. So like if you're like chasing them and you tackle them by the hip and you try to bring them down, you can't do that because that's the most injury-ridden play, and that all the people get their ankles rolled up and all of that. And I'm like, so basically, let's just put flags on them because
Yeah. I was
how
gonna
can you
say, how are
tackle
they
that?
gonna tackle? Yeah. That's impossible. That's
So like,
impossible.
you know what I'm talking about though, when they're like behind them or like they try to drag them down
Yeah.
with like, and then their leg gets caught underneath or whatever they
They kind
say.
of have to like spin back.
So how are you going to be
That's
able to play
impossible.
football?
That's impossible to do.
You know,
Yeah.
flag football is going to be an Olympic sport in 2028.
I saw that.
I'm sorry, but who is going to want to watch that?
Who's gonna play in it? Like
It'd be fun
that's
to
the
play
thing.
in
If
it.
there's gonna be Joe Blows in there, who's gonna?
But
I want.
do you want to watch flag football?
I don't.
Like,
Even if I did want to watch flag football, I wouldn't want to watch it with people who like never even played like the USFL. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want that stuff. I don't want to see like even Ocho Cinco out there being at his age,
Terrell Owens,
catching
baby.
bombs. Like, I don't want to see that. And you know what? They're gonna still be the best people on the field if they were to do it. So that's why I'm like, why? Why is that an Olympic sport if it's not gonna be true football anyways? You're not getting the best of the best in the Olympics. You're getting fucking the guy who's the best on the block who, got hurt in college probably, and this is his only thing he can do. Because if he gets hurt one more fucking time, he'll probably have to cut his leg off. But he's like, no, it's flag football, so it's fine. I got a chance to be an Olympic athlete, Olympic gold medalist. And there's 1,000 other people who are better than me in the real world in real football. I don't want to see that. Same, like I said, same reason I don't watch Canadian football. I want to watch the best of the best. I don't want to watch Joe Blow on the co-ed team.
I mean, I don't really want Joe Blow either.
Yeah. In more ways than one.
I can't stand those rule changes, and it just irritates me the hell out of me, honestly. How soft the game has gotten.
That can't be. There's just
I
can't.
just fucking want someone to take someone's head off. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how the game is meant to be played. You volunteered, you signed a contract, you signed up for this. It's the most physical sport in the world. That's how it should be played. And if they don't want to play football, then go play fucking baseball. You'll never get hit. You'll never get touched. You can make billions of dollars. Go play another sport. But if you want to play football, you better be ready to deal with CTE. You better be ready to get your head fucking knocked off. That's football. And I just wish they would allow it to be that way instead of trying to make it a different sport. It's not fucking a different sport. There's going to be contact in every play. An offensive lineman's going to hit a defensive lineman. A fucking running back's going to get tackled. A quarterback's going to get blindsided. It is what's going to happen. I just wish they would allow it to happen because you would actually grow the game. You'd grow the experience for the people. And if you don't want to play, that's fine. Go do something else.
Right.
There's millions of people who would lay their life on the line to play a game of football. If you don't want to, then don't. But what I hate is when they take it away from people with these stupid fucking rules. If you only can tackle this way, you can't leave with your shoulder. Not with your shoulder. Don't hit him with your shoulder. It's like, fuck you, man. Just let me play the game. My job is to take him down. His job is to take me down. Okay? That's the game. And I saw that same thing, Travis, and I was just riled up.
Me too.
I couldn't. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Like, I listened to a podcast where TJ Watt was on this past week or 2 weeks ago, and he was saying how because you can't fall on the quarterback, he's been practicing grabbing the quarterback and taking all the weight on him. Okay, so what do we save by doing that? We save the quarterback from getting hurt, which makes the league more money. Did we really protect player safety? You have a fucking 250-pound player landing on another player because he's trying to protect that other player. And now he's got to change this technique. And I'm just like, it's not about safety. If you tell me it's about safety, I would agree and say that's the best thing to do. But the problem is, it's not. The problem is, it's about the quarterback, it's about the offense, it's about money. And that's what I fucking hate. And I actually like defense more than offense when it's played right, but they've taken that out of the game. I mean, you don't see Ray Lewis hits, the Sean Taylor hits. That shit doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
If you did that, you get kicked out of the league or suspended for a few games. It's just ridiculous. Like, that to me is what drew me to football. Is like, you could do that and not, take out aggression, have fun. That's what the game is. But if you just want Mahomes to put up 50 touchdowns, we can do that too. Just put on some flags.
Yeah. Oh, they get plenty of those flags to begin with, anyways. Yeah, I think at a point it's just wrestling. like it's just a show. That's all it's going to turn into at some point. I feel like it's just a show with drama, bunch of fake bullshit. Yeah, and the more and more I think about it, I really do compare it to wrestling. So I'm going to stop before I completely don't want to watch football anymore. Other games. We were kind of talking about Miami's offense still dominating. They put up 42 over Carolina. Which is odd because it seemed like they were kind of quiet against Carolina at the beginning of the game. Like it was Carolina. You're like, oh shit, Carolina's up. Thielen got a touchdown, and then it was just lights out. All Miami at that point. Let's see.
I've
Yeah.
decided that Mike McDaniels and Dan Campbell are my two favorite head coaches in the league by far.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
McDaniels. Dude, that guy's, I don't know if you guys have seen some of his shit. He got fired from the Texans for like alcohol abuse or whatever it
Yeah.
was, or I think it was the Broncos. He's got this card in his office that says 865 days. That's how long he was out of the league. He gets up at like 2:40 a.m. The guy's just on another level.
Yeah.
He's quirky and awkward and funny in his interviews, but
Yeah.
he works extremely hard, and I think his players have bought into what he's done with the culture in Miami, and now it's translated to obviously their success. But I really am cheering hard for them. Obviously I'm a big Hurricanes fan, so I follow a lot of people I follow. Also, obviously like the Dolphins. A lot of such positive vibes for what the team has never really done anything other than 72. That was probably the last time they've went undefeated, won the Super Bowl, and accomplished something. It's been years. So it's weird to see like the Dolphins and Lions up there. You just look at it and you're like, that ain't right.
Yeah.
But both teams are playing exceptional. I think it's head coach and culture.
Yep. I 100% agree with that. Well said. Houston.
Another one.
There's still, and that's another one where they're growing a culture there. I think that's massive. It's so great to see that team come from the depths that it's been in for a few years now, and just improve and just show promise and win games like out there. Like they're still so far under the radar right now. No one's really talking about them at all, but I still think they're impressing week in and week out. Not every single game leads to a win, but enough where they're making a name for themselves, and I think they're a fun team. I think I like to see them get flexed in some better time slots, so they could be some standalone games there. I think that'd be awesome. But
I'd love this Thursday night game of theirs or something.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with D'Amico Ryans and what he's done there in a short stint he's been there, building a culture, drafting some positive talent, and just it's like you said, cool to see them have some success after multiple years of the massive failure that was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, him and Staley kind of have a similar way of doing things, where it was just like, how can we fuck this up at the end of the game? All right, boys, should we get into our power rankings, huh? We got some power rankings. I was gonna redo the Power Rangers theme song with that, but I would have to sing it, so I decided not to. But yeah. Anywho's. All right. I'm gonna get into mine right away. Just so Winch doesn't steal mine this time. Power rankings. We got 5th place. I got this team dropping 2 spots. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills in 5th place. Travis said earlier, very up and down, but I still think that they are a Power 5 team. I still think that they belong in the top 5. Nonetheless, I still would pick them over most teams week in and week out. So I got to give them the credit. 4th, I got the Chiefs staying there just because they didn't impress me at all this last week. Pretty piss poor performance. And with that said, 3rd place, I got moving up 2 spots. They weren't even ranked 2 weeks ago on my board. We got the Lions in 3rd. All right. The Lions are still the team. Fucking wild to think that. But They're awesome. They're so well rounded, and I look forward to their games honestly every single week just to see what crazy shit they can do and pull off. But these next two I got, number 2 and number 1, they've been locked since last week. I think maybe even the week before. Number 2 got Miami still there. Because number 1, I still got the 49ers. That's pretty much the whole reason that Miami's staying at number 2. 49ers are still a great team. Brock Purdy is still him, and they're still going to win the most games out of any team this year. Everyone might be fucking 5-1 or whatever right now. All these guys are, but yeah, they're 49ers are going to win most games. They're going to be the best team, no doubt.
I'll build off of your list, Lee. I got the same first two, so I'll skip that. 49ers, best team in the NFL. I'm going to keep saying it, rinse and repeat every week until the season's over. They just stay healthy. They're going to be there. They're going to have the most wins. They play in a really tough division, but I think that iron sharpens iron, as they say. They'll continue to get better week over week. Miami is the best offense in the NFL, and their defense is going to come around. They have talent on that defense. They just haven't had to need it or use it as much as other teams. Obviously, with the scoring margin they've had. Number 3, I got the Chiefs. I'm going to keep them up here, even though I don't think I've been impressed with what they've done. I just look at the best player in the NFL, and it's hard for me to remove them from this list when they really haven't done anything to remove from the list. I mean, they've won some games. Their defense has played much better than in years past, so if that maintains and their offense grows, I just see the potential there. I think what they did, bringing Miko back, makes a ton of sense for them. Number 4, and the high riser, I think you mentioned it, Lee, is the Detroit Lions. Man, that's a team I want to watch on Sundays. That's probably the team I look forward to watching the most, to be honest with you. Just their physicality and the way they play football. I love everything about it. Watching Dan Campbell post game hand out game balls to a punter and Goff. I mean, everyone buys into that fucking culture he's created there, and I don't know how you can't like that team and like what they're doing there. I'm gonna keep Philly in the top 5, albeit that was the worst game Jalen Hurts has played since he's been in the NFL. I still believe in them. I think they have a lot of young talent. They drafted well this year, and it will start to turn around as the season progresses. Obviously, only one loss, so I'll keep them in my top 5. But biggest team that's made a move for me, obviously Lions getting up into the 4 spot, and I like their chances to finish with a really strong record. So.
Yeah, I mean, I got almost every one of your guys' teams in my top 5 here. So we're number 5. I got the Bills. Just maintaining that number 5 spot. I got to see more consistency out of them. We already talked about that, though. Number 4, I got the Dolphins here, actually. Just because I'm still worried about that defense. I know they're going to come along, but at some point you're going to have to be able to stop teams, and you're not going to be able to go down 14-0 and then put up 50 points. Like, you're not going to be able to do that against the Bills. We already saw that. You're not going to be able to do that even against like the Jets. You're not going to be able to do that against the Chiefs. So that's where I'm a little leery on them. Number 3, I got the Chiefs only because they lost the number 2 team already this year. So Chiefs are number 3. Still haven't seen their greatness yet, and that's what's great about them is they're 5-1 doing it, and they're still winning, and we're just like, man, they look not good, but yep, they're 5-1 and not looking good. So that says something as well. And then number 2, I got the Lions. I just think right now they're playing, like you said, the most enjoyable football on Sundays, and what I would want to watch, because on defense they're playing good, offense they're playing good, just all the way around running the ball. Jared Goff's fucking dominating, and I'm actually really, really surprised again, man. I just didn't think he'd have it in him, and I don't think the Lions did either. I think they were just getting a throw-in player in that fucking trade because they needed to make the money work, and they were like, yeah, we'll just get Goff for a year or 2 and we'll go off of him. And now they're like, well, now we can't because like,
right,
dude's balling. So good for him. And he's also got a hot-ass supermodel wife. Oh, my God. Number 1, We got the Niners coming in at number one just because they're still the most complete team. They had some injuries. They played the number one defense. Purdy had his worst game of his career. He's bound to have that. But they'll bounce back. They'll be fine. I don't really have any worries of them doing that. So Niners number one still. Not in our hearts, though.
Not
Yeah, how wild does that trade look now for Goff? Just
Yeah.
a reminder, they traded Stafford away. They got 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and Jared Goff.
Yeah, looking damn good. Look what they, yeah,
I,
what they
I would
turned that
venture to
into.
say he's outplayed him. I mean, if you look at the career, obviously Stafford won a Super Bowl,
Right.
but if you look at the time they've been with their teams and the success they've had and the impact, I would venture to say Goff has outplayed him.
I
It's
agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
wild to think, but
I mean, he
like
does
to
have
get 2,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
but he also has Aaron Donald and
yeah,
had Jalen Ramsey. I mean, the talent around them was obviously far superior.
right.
yes.
But I'm saying like you just look at, we got a long season obviously ahead. I saw the Lions are like 12-3 over the last 15 games. I mean, it's kind of the same thing we said about Purdy is like, who gives a shit if he's not the biggest name or the whatever. I mean, he obviously Goff was the number one pick. It's a little different, but he's played exceptionally well in the system and done exactly what they needed him to do to win games. Now it hasn't produced a Super Bowl, but I would tell you if I was about to get someone back and you told me he's going to go 12-3 as my quarterback, and I get 2 first rounders and a third rounder, sign me up every day. I That's going to be an interesting trade to look back on years from now, especially if Goff ends up winning one with Detroit. What would that say, or what would that do? To your point, I don't think they really thought much about that. It was more about the value they got from the other picks.
What do we know what those picks turned into? What players those turned into? I don't know off the top of my head.
Jameson Williams and
Aiden Hutchinson, probably. No, maybe.
it was either Sam Laporta or Gibbs this
Oh,
year.
really?
I think it was Sam Laporta.
What about St. Brown as well? No.
He's third, fourth.
Yeah, but didn't they
Oh,
get
yeah.
that too from them? They got like a lot of picks.
Yeah, could have been
Yeah,
the
that
third.
could have been them.
Could have been the third.
Yeah, so pretty fucking solid to turn. Yeah.
Their picks, I mean, I don't know a team that's hit on more picks lately than them.
Right.
It's like I mean, Hutch is
F them.
his his PFF is insane.
Yeah.
If you look at his stats, Laporta's playing great. Gibbs has got dinged up, but I mean, you see the potential when he gets the ball. And you go down the list of all the picks they've had, Jack Campbell and everyone's playing well that they pick. Like,
Yep.
that's what it's about.
They
But
hit on them for sure. All right, pick'ems, shall we? We should figure out where we're at here. Pick'ems, Trav.
you're still in last place, Lee. I just checked you out.
Trav is leading with 62. I fell back one spot this last week. Yeah, I picked the Bears over Minnesota. Probably should have figured that was not a good idea. So I'm at 61. 61, that's right. And Winch 54, man.
Got some work to do, Winch.
You got to pick her up, man. 1 week at a
Yeah.
time. Remember, you don't got to win it all in 1 week.
Nah, fuck that.
No, get all those
Back
lone
here,
wolf
two
picks.
back there, you know.
I'll just keep picking the Texans or something. Go with the team and just roll with them.
Well, don't pick. Don't pick Houston this week because
They're on a bye.
Alrighty, folks. Why? Oh yeah. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let's make our picks, shall we?
go.
Time to pick 'em. Come on down. I'm just kidding. All right, let's get into them picks. All right, so number one, first game of the week, Thursday night football. We got Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are not impressive to me. They might be impressive in their division, but Jacksonville to me, It's just got so much more going for it. I know Trevor Lawrence got the bump, so he's hurting a little bit, but I haven't heard any news saying that he's gonna be out at all. So I'm still taking Jacksonville. I'm gonna take Jacksonville 24-20.
Okay, that's a very nice pick there, Lee. You started off nicely because I'm going to do the same.
Thank
I
you.
got Jacksonville
Nice.
20-17. Trevor Lawrence is going to have some problems. I'm going to be getting mad at this game, and somehow, though, the Jacksonville Jaguars will kick a field goal to win the game in the end.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to break some news. Trevor Lawrence will not play in this game.
What?
The Saints will win this game.
Is
I'm
Trevor
just
Lawrence
kidding.
hurt?
No.
Oh, you said he's not going to play in the game.
I know. I said I'm going to break some news. I'm just kidding. He's going to play in this game. I got a little concerned after. I don't know if you guys saw his injury, but after that game, I didn't think he would play in this game. But the news has been trending in the right direction from what I've seen. I think he does play, and I think they win 23-17. Jaguars.
Nice.
Book it.
So no lone wolf. That was premature.
Not on
lone
that
wolf
one,
on
no.
that one. Okay.
No. The rest of the picks, whatever you guys.
All other picks. We're going straight underdogs and yeah.
That's worked well for me so far.
Could you imagine taking, let's say, Denver, Arizona, just like all these
Just going down the
terrible
line.
teams? All right, next up we got the Las Vegas Raiders in Chicago with a fieldless Bears group, which I don't think it would have mattered. Las Vegas, how they are not impressive in any shape or form. Anyone can beat Chicago. So I'm gonna go Raiders 19-17.
Yeah, backup quarterback for Chicago might actually do him some good. I don't know. Nah, I don't really think so. Give me Vegas.
Vegas
27-20.
Jimmy G play?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it matter? Who is their backup? I'm trying to think of who.
Hoyer.
Oh yeah. They could still win that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Vegas. 24-14.
All right, that takes us to Cleveland. The Browns in Indianapolis against the Colts. Gardner Minshew, I think you're gonna have a hell of a fucking game here. Probably gonna be on your ass a lot. Taking Cleveland here, 24-13. I think it's still questionable if what's his nuts is gonna be healthy enough to play that game. I hope so, just for my fantasy sakes. Or probably gonna be, I don't know. I should still be Brad no matter what. So I think I'll probably be fine. But yeah, like I said, Cleveland.
Man, this one's a tougher one, I think. I think Cleveland's going to be down after that 49er game, come out a little like, we're awesome and think they're top shit. I'm going to go Indianapolis here to win this game 23-19.
Okay. I like the confidence.
Yeah, I do too. I think Watson coming back for Cleveland, I think he'll start this week. Helps them. I think they start slow. Much to your point, Travis, I think they could get down, a 10-3 style game after one or early in second or something. Come back. I think they win kind of an ugly type game, 19-13. We'll go with 19-13.
Is Watson playing?
I think he will.
Yeah, I think he's
he's trending in the right direction if he wants to play,
I don't think he practiced today. I think I heard that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna stick with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PJ Walker is back on their practice squad, I saw. So that's not good signs that he'll be playing at least. If they
be DTR.
Which is weird. They go back and forth between the
I don't think so. That's why it makes me think Watson's playing.
Yeah, I think so. Anywho, Buffalo playing in New England. New England stinks. So even if since it's a home game, got no faith in them. Anyone on their team is pretty trash. So I'm gonna stick Buffalo here, and to kind of go along with the theme of New England not scoring shit, except for last week they scored a little bit. Other than that, pretty crappy. I'm gonna go in Buffalo 31-6. This is gonna be the first.
Yeah, give me the
Bigger
Bills
blowout.
30-10.
Yeah, this is my lock of the week. I don't see. I'll just.
Josh's lock of the week.
The let me look up here. I'll give you guys fun little statistics about the Patriots. So the
Gotta get
Patriots have been
this time.
outscored 93-20 in their last games,
Woof.
Terrible.
and I expect that trend to continue.
Dude,
This is weird
Belichick's
to watch.
out. 100%
You
out.
you
There's no
I mean
way.
you tell me the Lions are in our top 3 of our power rankings, and the Patriots are 1 and 5. That doesn't seem like reality to me, but I'm enjoying it. I'm going to take the Bills to handle them 31-13.
This next game here was a toss up for me. Washington at New York. As much as Danny Dimes is awful looking this year, and I think Tyrod Taylor should play instead because he looked better to me, even with his bonehead move he did towards the end of that game last week. I still think he's a better quarterback for that team. But nonetheless, no matter who is there, I think Giants are getting a little more healthier. I'm picking the Giants. And this is, like I said, this is a very tough one for me. I think a lot of you guys, both of you probably would pick Washington. But I'm going to pick the Giants 24-23. Real close.
Yeah, I just can't go with the Giants. That offensive line is too bad. Give me the Washington football team 20-16.
I like that score.
You both pick Washington, I assume?
No,
Nope.
we're split.
Really? Who and what?
I went Giants.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it in the Meadowlands?
It is.
Yes.
Washington coming off a win. That's a good pick, Lee. Damn.
Yeah, this is a tough one. This is probably the most even game, I would say, probably this whole week.
Tampa, Atlanta.
I was just going to say, except for maybe the next one.
These are tough ones. I'm gonna stick with commies. I feel like the Giants are unraveling a little bit this season, and I don't know if they have the confidence to come out and get a win. If they did, this would be the week. Commies are just one of those teams, just like Atlanta. When you get a win, you lose the next one. When you lose, you win the next one. It just seems like they're going to be an 8-8 style team in the back in the day when we had 16 games. Yeah, I'll take Washington 21-17.
All right. Nice. That makes me get the Lone Wolf Boys out. Hello. Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, this next one we got is Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Atlanta is one of those teams that is up and down too, but they're never gonna really impress. I feel like week to week. And Tampa Bay's been doing much better than I think. I think they went up against such a tough team against the Lions last week that I think they're gonna bounce back here against Atlanta in home or at home in Tampa Bay. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay 23-20.
Yeah, I like that Tampa Bay's at home, Atlanta on the road. Need to bounce back. Like you said, Baker Mayfield's been looking all right. Had a little bit of a rough game last week, but they played a really good team. Give me Tampa Bay to win this game 23-17.
I like Tampa Bay's D a lot against Desmond Ritter and that offense in Atlanta. I think that's the side of the ball, obviously, that they win on in this game. I like 20-13. Tampa Bay comes out with the victory.
Did you guys see Kyle Pitts exists?
Scored a touchdown?
Yeah. Wasn't that crazy? Forgot that guy was alive. Forgot he was alive.
Man, they need to fucking trade that guy. He's so talented.
It's going to waste.
Yeah. He shouldn't be there. Yeah, just doesn't fit them.
Could you imagine him like being the successor to Kelsey?
God. Dude, I
mean, if you're the Chiefs, I would just reach out. I mean, Kelsey's
well.
33, 34.
I think he's
right. Is that right?
32. I want to say I just saw it.
He's 34.
He is 34? Okay, I'm just getting my...
I mean, people play a lot longer now, but still.
Right. Yeah, it's probably going to be due anytime.
I mean, give them another 2 years, but I mean...
Yeah. Especially if they win the Super Bowl again this year, it's like...
That would be insane combo.
Might as well just go out, just got 3, let's go. Especially, yeah, he's got to spend time with Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah.
We almost went the whole thing without saying
and that's the only capacity I want to talk about her. I don't want to be talking about her at games or anything. Moving on. Detroit at Baltimore. Doesn't matter where it is, especially Baltimore not really impressing me at all this year. Yeah, I'm easily going to take Detroit here. I got Detroit 27-20 though. A little closer than what they're
doing. Yeah, I can't trust the Ravens right now with Detroit and how good they're playing. They're at least showing me that they're good, and the Ravens show me this little roller coaster. So I'm going to go with Detroit to win this game 23-20.
I'm tempted to take the lone wolf here, but I'm not going to pick against my boy. And what I just said, all those positive things about Detroit. But it is in Baltimore, and that's always one of the hardest places to win, I feel like, in the NFL. This is going to be a close game, in my opinion. I would say like a 23-20. I'll take the Lions to win on the road late with a field goal and walk out of there victorious.
Hell yeah. I love it. Next game we got is the Pittsburgh Steelers going against the Los Angeles Rams. Pittsburgh, once again, another one of those teams doesn't impress me whatsoever. It's shocking how poor I think they are. And then the Rams on the other hand, yeah, the Rams on the other hand, yeah, they're winning and they're figuring out games. They're impressing me much like Houston does. With it seems like they just don't have a lot there, but they're making a hell of a lot out of it. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams 28-17.
Yeah, I like where your head's at there. I like the Rams too. I can't trust Pittsburgh's offense to score any points. Give me the Rams 24-14.
Pittsburgh's coming off a bye this week. I do think they're gonna. Man, this one's tough for me. That defense is just elite, and their offense is just garbage. So, having said that, I'm gonna have to stick with the Rams. I think they have the more talented roster overall. They are pretty banged up at running back this week, so I'm gonna take the Rams to win the game, 21-17.
All right, 28-17. Okay. Arizona going against Seattle. As much as Seattle is kind of, I think, taking a step back this year, they've been very, very quiet, not too impressive. I still think they have enough talent to win this game over Arizona. Arizona's just, they're just playing to play. They're just showing up. They're going to try to win games, but that doesn't mean really shit. So, yeah, I'm taking Seattle 23-16.
Hit the button.
Ooh, is it
lock of the week?
Travis's lock of the week.
Cardinals?
Yeah, man. No. We're going to go with the gum-chewing Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. to fly very high this weekend over in Seattle. It is a home game. Give me Seattle 30, Arizona 17.
I've actually been pretty impressed with Seattle. They've had a pretty hard schedule to start the season. I like what they've done. With their draft picks, another team that just drafts historically well. Probably has the best. Devin Witherspoon has probably been the best pick in the draft. When you look at how his statistics and how he's performed, I mean, he has a lot of picks, but I more or less look at his coverage grades, and he's very high up there. And then obviously what they've done in years past with a lot of other late round picks. I think they've done a great job drafting and starting to pay off well. Young team that's kind of molding around Gino. I like them a lot this year. I think they have a chance to make some noise, get in the playoffs, and win a game. So I'm going to take Seattle here to win. At Arizona, they start to fall back to the team we all thought they were. I'm going to take Seattle to win 31-17.
You think Kyler plays this year? He's coming off the PUP.
At some point.
I think he does at some
I think
point.
you should trade him.
I definitely think that. But I think he will play. I just don't know where. Who.
As soon as he's available, I call Atlanta and I say what we'll take. Because we're going to get this done. And then I use both those picks, and I take a quarterback, and I take the best available wide receiver, and I start all over if I'm Arizona. And then I'd make the same call for Hollywood Brown, anyone who wants him, and I do the exact same to get a second or third rounder.
Dude, who needs Hollywood Brown? Honestly, like, throw out ideas so I have hope on fantasy, because he's been sitting on my team as like an okay wide receiver for years now, and I just want him to go to a team that's good, that will use him correctly.
Know who would use him really well is Detroit, but they kind of have that guy in Amon-Ra. You need someone that he's good. He's fast, but he's also very good across the middle. He's good. He's explosive. So
I want to know what team he could fit. Like, it's got to be a team that would use him better than where he's been. Well, you say
the Colts.
The Colts? I think that would actually be a good one too. Yeah, they've been struggling spreading the ball around. I feel like too, the Colts. Like, I figure they'd have a star there. Really,
you look at I can't remember their head coach's name, but obviously he came from the Eagles. What are the Eagles? I mean, he would be Devontae Smith. Is basically what they would.
Stanovich, or what's his name? No, Steichen. Shane Steichen.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
go. I mean, that's what they, you get Pittman on the outside as kind of your AJ Brown, and I could see that being a good marriage. But either way, I think that's what Arizona should do is you obviously have a depleted roster. Just fucking unload it.
Yeah, trade line is Halloween. It's 31st.
Really?
Yep. So it's going to be scary, exciting. Hopefully we get some great trades. Hawkinson was the big one probably last year. Lions to the Vikings.
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, yep, huge. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors of Saquon being traded. Devontae Adams being traded. Who's the other one I heard? So there's big names. We'll see.
That NBA trade deadline is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the NFL gets to that point.
I know.
It's a lot harder though.
It is.
You got to learn. You can't just go in there and play. Like, you got to learn a whole new fucking vocabulary.
Yep, I agree. It's not pick and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
It's exciting times. Next game we got is Green Bay in Denver, the Mile High City. Holy shit.
One to get me on, boys, right here.
Yeah. I think this is the lock of the week for me. I'm taking Green Bay. Oh, yeah. I'm taking Green Bay 24-13 over Denver. Denver just, I don't think they can fight themselves out of a wet paper bag. So,
Have you
yeah,
seen Green Bay?
Green Bay has its moments where they're struggling, but I think if they do, honestly, what you say, Travis, is they coach well. Sucks they can't just run the ball effectively as they can be without Aaron Jones. But yeah, I think I just find the open man. Let Jordan Love find the open man. You'll move the ball around easy enough. There's nothing in Detroit or in Denver that is threatening at all. Like, they even make one of the best corners in the league look bad because he's the only one on the defense doing a damn thing. So, yep.
Yeah, man, you have a lot more faith than me. I would never pick a lock of the week for the Green Bay Packers right now. With that being said, though, I'm not picking Denver. So give me the Pack. I don't know why. Don't think they're good. Don't think Matt LaFleur is very good. However, give me the Packers to win in a shitty ass motherfucking game that we're just gonna be like, what is this? It's gonna be like a 20-17 Packer win.
What do you got, Winch?
Yeah, I probably won't watch any of this game, to be honest. Maybe just on the red zone to get a little preview, but man, I think Denver's the worst team in the NFL. So I actually would take Arizona's roster over Denver just because of the contracts they're locked into, and Denver is pretty brutal between Russell and Gregory, and I mean they just have some really hard ones on the books. But anyway, I love it's good lock of the week, Lee. I think Green Bay wins this one actually pretty easily. I'm gonna go 30. I'm gonna say they rebound on offense, put up 30, which is obviously a good week. A good week for them. 30. I'll give Denver 20. 30 to 20. A little bit higher scoring than what you guys think. I don't. Yeah, I think Jordan Love rebounds. I think they have an opportunity. What I wish the Green Bay Packers would do is actually just invest in some talent at running back or wide receiver. Like, it's starting to show a little bit. I mean, you mentioned Travis picking up James Robinson. There's so many talented running backs and receivers in each year's draft, and I feel like they've always hit on these players, but at receiver especially. But I feel like they haven't loaded the depth as much at running back. Where now it's starting to show its face a little bit. Where Dylan is too slow, not agile. We're not in December, January where he can just pound the rock. And I feel like they're missing that other option. So
Well, if
hopefully
Aaron Jones
James.
could just stay healthy, then we'd have like
Yeah.
the top 5 running back in the league, but he can't. So
Availability is key.
I
How long they got him on a contract?
think one more year after this.
Yeah, he's done after this year.
Good,
They'll
good.
draft running back this year. I bet you everything.
Yeah, that's good timing. Next game we got Kansas City is hosting the Chargers, and if we all remember, year after year, game after game, this has always been a high-scoring shootout. All right, this has always been an entertaining game.
Absolutely.
So I'm fucking excited for it. Can't believe it's an
The game of the
earlier
week.
game. Yeah, this is probably the game of the week. I'm going to take Kansas City just because they're Kansas City and the Chargers are the Chargers. I'm going to take Kansas City 37-34. We're going to have a fucking
Yeah,
game.
I agree, man. Just because the Chargers are the Chargers, I want to really take the Chargers, but I can't. I just took them last week, and nope, not good. So not going to make that same mistake again. So this week that means they're going to win, but I'm going to still take Kansas City. Give me Mahomes and them 27-24.
I had the Chiefs, but I feel like something's in the air. The Chargers can't go 2-4. Need this game. Herbert, all this talk about how he plays shitty in the fourth quarter. I think they're going to turn around, win one for the Gipper, as the old Notre Dame people would say. No relevance to this game at all. But I'm going to take them 31-28. Chargers win on the road. It's always one of those games. It's going to come down to the very last drive, who has the ball. I think Herbert gets the ball and they get a field goal. They win the game. So 31-28. Let's go. Let's make up
Let's
a
go.
game here.
Next game we got Miami in Philadelphia against them pesky Eagles. Eagles just aren't there yet. They're not figured out on both sides of the ball right now. I feel like they're not very impressive. They are still 5-1 at the end of the day. However, this is Miami, and Miami coming into Philly, it's going to be tough for them just because it's Philly. But really, Miami's still going to do Miami things, and I got Miami winning 34-24.
God, you had my number right there with the 34. Now I'm going to have to go different. I'm going to go Miami 37-30, high scoring game.
Well, I need to make up 6 picks, so only for that reason, I'm going to take Philadelphia here because
load up for that game.
back. Either I'm going to be down 8 games or I might make up some ground.
I like it.
I need something here. I think Miami is the better team. However, it's at Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts coming off a rough performance. The defense has played well enough. I think they could step up and play better. They have probably the most talented defensive line, especially interior defensive line in the league. I hope they make some plays. HA is obviously not playing. So
Mostert's playing very well. So
he is. I mean, I think he's probably leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Anyway, I need Philly to win just for this picks. So please win, Philly. Other than that, I don't really care. I want Miami to win.
I don't know. It should be a fun game. That and the Kansas City
Yeah,
Chargers game.
those two are the game. Going to be really good games.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see those because we didn't really get much of that this past weekend. It was
right
kind of shit games.
This next one here, Monday night. Woof! This should be, man. If we could flex it out on Monday night, San Francisco in Minnesota against the Vikings.
You going to this one?
Woof! Fuck no. There's a reason I didn't buy any tickets this year before the season started because I was like, wow, do I want to see the Chargers beat the Vikings or do I want to see the Chiefs beat the Vikings? I definitely didn't want to see San Francisco just because there's not individual players that are real standout, that really I want to make sure I see before I die kind of thing. While I want to see Herbert, I want to see Mahomes. But I knew those were going to be losses. So yeah, most definitely won't be going to a game this year probably at all. And especially not this one. San Francisco, I got winning 31-17 over Minnesota.
Yeah, I got San Francisco hands down. They're going to be mad after that loss. They're going to come out and crush them. Yeah, give me San Fran 30-14.
Pretty similar.
I'll go San Fran, obviously 31-20.
So sad. God damn it. I wish Carolina would win, which they were playing and winning this weekend.
They started well versus Miami.
Same with the Bears. I just wish all of those 1-win teams would win this week. 0-win teams. Okay. Well, that wraps it up. That wraps up our week 7 pick'ems here. Winch looking to make some ground. Me, I'm hoping the Lone Wolf.
I just want to be within like 4 games. That's the goal. If I can leave,
that's huge. I want to at least, I just want to at least be hanging around where Travis is. I just don't want Travis to get a lead by like.
I would like
games.
that. I would like getting a lead.
That would be terrible. Anywho, yeah. So let's wrap this one up. We previewed week 6, reviewed week 6, previewed week 7. Remember to follow us on all social media and give a like, a follow, rate, and review, subscribe, share to your friends, your family, everyone who loves football. Because that's what the Gridiron Gang is all about here. All right, folks, we love football. Make sure to give us a listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are played. And YouTube as well. Check us out on YouTube. We've had that YouTube channel this whole season so far, so we'll keep those uploaded, making improvements every single week. All right, and with that said, folks, that is the last I heard.
Peace.